What's up, muses? It's your favorite tarot deck specialist, T-Mann Tarot, here on the interwebs. Hi, hello, and welcome, fam. If this is your first time finding my channel, my name is Tyler, also known as T-Mann Tarot, here across the interwebs, providing you with deep dives and deck reviews and first impressions of everything tarot, metaphysical, spiritual, divinatory, so that you can figure out if it is worth your hard-earned cash to purchase for yourself. Now, friends, before we dive into today's deck review, please make sure that you subscribe, comment, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another deck review. So, let's change our camera angles and dive on into this week's deck review. Alright, muses. Now that we have changed our camera angles and we have got ourselves all situated, today we are talking about Tarot Vitae, published by US Games, created by Prpietto. I apologize if I just butchered your name, but this is created by US Games. I was given the opportunity to request a sample of this deck, and the reason why I decided to grab this deck is because I have been on a journey to find a tarot deck that is sex positive and doesn't necessarily hide away from that style of tarot. And when I saw the illustrations and how kind of hypersexualized these characters are, I fell in love with the deck. What you get if you decide to purchase this copy is the full deck, a well-detailed guidebook, and the new and improved tuck box that US Games has come up with. And it has this lovely, will you focus? Look at that texture. There it is. They put texture inside of the tuck box to give you more of a luxurious feeling. The box itself is matte here. And so on the side of the box, it does have a little description. Will it focus? There it goes. Tarot Vitae presents a rich exploration of the characters, scenes, and symbols of traditional tarot. The sensuous drawn figures are not mere archetypes, but represents the flesh and blood of real life, Vitae, with the emotions and aspirations we all feel. Every card tells a part of our story and invites us to complete our dual nature, earthly and transcendent. Includes 78 cards and a 136-page guidebook. This is what I was hoping for. It is tastefully done. There is no, they're sensual characters. They're not anything. Even the lovers is tasteful, but it was just this extra sexual tension that the cards provided that I just wanted to see how this would work in my practice, in readings. I love, come on, focus now. Cinematic filming, it catches everything. I love that there's not the thick border up here. This border down there is fine. We can see in the majors. Oh, but even here it has them. Yeah, this thick border at the top here, not a huge fan of it. If you're gonna do a border, go full image with inside the border. This thick gray, I'm not a huge fan of. It does drive me a little bit nuts because I just feel like it's wasted space here. We could have had a fuller image. One thing that I did notice that I am slightly saddened by, because yes, it is a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, if you will. The inclusivity of skin color and body type is definitely lacking within this deck. So that to me is a little bit of a letdown, that we are missing that connection here and that little bit of, you know, change to the system. Just because the RWS, you know, it's in the public domain, we can have a little bit of liberty to kind of change things around here. I'm going to read just the last little bit from the introduction here. The title Vitae suggests the wholeness of life's experiences, including the cycles of fragility and awareness, flesh and spirit, the curiosity of youth and the wisdom of age. Tarot Vitae invites us to complete our dual nature, earthly and transcendent, reminding us that behind every symbol there is a living body, one that feels, perceives, and seeks meaning. And with that kind of notion, I would have hoped that there would be, again, that tilt towards having a more kind of inclusive nature. I'm going to flip to the Lovers here so that we can kind of talk about, oops, sorry for the shakiness, talk about the card, the Lovers. In the guidebook, I love that you get the Lovers and it is connected to Gemini. Upright, love, attraction, passion, union, harmony, and partnership are some keywords. Reversed, infidelity, distrust, quarrels, imbalance, disharmony. The Lovers card shows us two figures, a man and a woman. Above them, from behind a cloud, the flaming angel watches over. Behind them, a large sun shines with vital and positive light that creates a strong divine connection. Symbolic of abundance and prosperity, the guardian is idyllic and lush. The garden is idyllic and lush. Two trees sprout the vegetation. The one behind Eve seems to be the forbidden apple tree, representing temptation and the loss of innocence. Behind Adam, there is the tree of flames, which represents the passion, but also the challenges and temptations that await two lovers. The mountains in the background symbolize the obstacles they will find along the way to reach their love. The Lovers card is easy to read. Love is bringing harmony, energy, and attraction. Even in other relationships with family, friends, work, colleagues, everything proceeds in the right direction. The Lovers card reversed, on the other hand, indicates lack of communication or trust in the relationship. It may be a sign that both partners are not on the same page, and that there may also be infidelity. It must be a situation of uncertainty regarding whether or not to continue the relationship. This card reversed loses all its energy and passion. The fire that was initially felt for someone is now cooling off or dying out. We may have difficulty opening our hearts to new relationships due to the fear of suffering because we've had a bad experience. Okay, leans heavily on the love aspect, which, you know, I get it, but we missed the idea of choice here, and that's a big thing for me. All right, where is 10, 11, 12? All right, let's go to my card, my favorite card, which is Death. Oh, I gotta find it. We're missing. My cards got out of it. There we are. This is a great, excuse me. Just make sure that we're in focus here. That death card is beautiful. Upright, ends, transformation, unknown, acceptance, change. Reversed, blockages, nostalgia, postponement, avoidance. So, death arrives riding a white horse, wearing black armor and waving a large flag with a white rose and the number 13 in Roman numerals. A king lays dead, distinguished by his robes and the crown on the ground beside him. The wealth and power of the king could not stop death. Death continues his ride towards the bishop on his knees. He has no mercy for anyone. He shall not spare people of faith and will not stop even in front of a woman and a child. The black flag he is carrying is a symbol of mourning. The white rose in the center represents purity and spirituality and suggests that there is an intersect beauty and purity in the process of transformation. The river symbolizes the one-way flow of life. The sun that faces the mountain shows us the constant cycles of night and day, life and death. Death certainly speaks to us of an end, a detachment, a conclusion. We have reached a point of no return. We may have wanted this ending. Because perhaps we wanted to get rid of something that blocked us so that we can be born again. Death essentially shows us a deep process of inner and outer transformation that can affect any area of our lives. The reverse of this card indicates resistance to change. We are blocked by the thoughts that hinder our evolution or imprisoned in a lifestyle that no longer supports our desires. However, we are avoiding tackling the problem. We do not want to leave the past behind, but we must in order to move to a better life. So we get the gist of it, of what the cards mean. This guidebook is well detailed through all of the cards. Even the minor arcana is fully detailed. At the back of the book, we have a little 4-card spread and about the author. That's pretty much it. Let us talk about the cardstock. Great snap quality. Double checking. Yeah, it's not cord. You can see through the back of it if you held it up to the light. But it's not like you really got to be holding it directly to a light source to even see behind it. Great snap quality. Let's see. Let's just double check this here real quick. So this is the Death upright. This is Temperance reversed. So yes, you can do uprights and inversions. The backs of the cards do lead to that ability. So that way, if you do reversals, you won't be able to tell. Let's give it that good old beautiful shuffle. Great disbursement of cards. I noticed that I had a deck that I think was printed on the wrong side of the cardstock, because when I went back and flipped it over and shuffled it from the other side, it went beautifully, but beforehand it was getting so chunky. Yeah, so one more for good measure. And let's see, deck, what is your energy? Oh, this deck is going to help us suss out our actions, maybe have harsh truths, speak honestly, directly, be open with the communication, and understand our actions. The 5 of Swords. This deck is going to help us with some hard, tough truths. So friends, that was just a quick little dive into the Tarot Vitae. A closer inspection of all of the cards, flip through so that you can see it, is coming up Right now, friends, have a great day.